Thank you, Ms. Quick. Oh, are we ready? Okay, hold on, I'm sorry.
All right, and at this time, we'll hear from Dr. Keys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Quick. Welcome everyone who is out there. My name is Alvin Keys. I currently serve as the Associate Dean for the College of Health and Human Sciences. And so I'm going to give you just a quick overview of the college, and Dr. Fernandez is going to do a more in-depth overview. She as well soon to be Dr. Evans. And so, so we hope that you'll have plenty of questions for us, and we hope that we can answer them in a satisfactory way. And again, thank you for coming. The college itself consists of several departments, and we have, now I have to say several, we now have actually 6 departments with a new major. And so those departments are kinesiology, nursing, psychology, social work, sociology, speech pathology, and health services management. So you'll get a chance or an opportunity if you decide to join us to major in up to 7 different majors. And so what do we collectively offer you as a student coming from the professors and administrators in the college? We are known for our caring professors. We definitely have quality instruction. We have informative advising. Students have research opportunities and internship opportunities. Our major goal is to make sure that you're prepared once you've been here for 4 years to go into the workplace, to provide your skills there, go to graduate school or professional school. So we definitely thank you for joining us. And now I'll turn it over to Dr. Fernandez, who will give you more information. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. We are so excited to have you here with us, and hopefully you will be joining the CHHS family soon. So I wanted to first, if we could go back, Chanel, and just talk to you about our motto, dedicated to excellence, committed to health. We actually got everyone together to vote on what they thought the best motto would be, faculty, staff, students, and this is what we came up with. And so in all that we do, whether it's in the classroom, our community, or campus connections, we really try to emulate this in all that we do. Now I want to just talk to you just for a little bit about the mission. I think missions and visions are important because you can hold us accountable to the things that we say that we're going to do. And so what we offer, as Dr. Keys alluded to, is a supportive environment, excellence in innovative teaching and learning, cutting edge interdisciplinary research. A lot of our faculty members are engaged in research. Students participate that as well. Responsiveness to changing health and workforce needs. We know that the health community, as far as careers go, it's growing. And so we try to respond to the new trends and what's changing. For instance, hence our new health services management degree. We practice integrity and ethics, and we also focus on community partnerships and collaborations. And in regards to our vision, which is the next slide, we aspire to be recognized internationally as a premier academic community devoted to education, scholarship, and community engagement. And so all of the faculty and staff here, they are professionals in their fields, and they work with students to help them acquire the skills that they need to be successful. So this college is fairly new. It started in fall of 2016. And so overall, there are 10 disciplines right now. It's grown a lot. So we have, like I said, a health services management degree, kinesiology, which offers 2 concentrations, nursing, psychology, speech studies, and speech pathology, as well as social work and sociology. We also have a graduate program. So the Department of Sociology and Social Work, there is a master's program in social work that we do with UNCG. So students take classes at both schools. And we also have a joint PhD program in social work with UNCG as well. Currently, we have about 2,200 students, but all of our majors have at their core a human service mission that is undergirded by strong backgrounds in health, social, and human sciences. So what path will you take? Whether you're building your skills for a certain profession or you're just following your passion to help each other or help other people, all of our majors and degrees are designed around making connections while you learn with faculty, professionals, employers, and the health community. And so now Ms. Evans is going to share some information with you about the School of Nursing.
Thank you, Dr. Fernandez. I just want to again welcome everyone who is attending the CHHS presentation this afternoon. We're so grateful to have you here, especially from the School of Nursing. And I'll just share a little bit of information about our program and the different entry options that you can take to become a nurse. If you notice here on this first screen, there's 4 different entry options that we have. There's an accelerated BSN option. Now, this option is for students who already have a bachelor's degree. And it can be in anything, in any subject, but would like a career change and has decided to pursue nursing. So that's a second degree option. The traditional pre-licensure option is most likely what most people are interested in on this call for our pre-nursing option. And I'll give you a little bit more details about that as our 4-year option. We also have RN to BSN, which is for registered nurses. And so those are registered nurses who already have an associate's degree, but are seeking a bachelor's degree. And then we have a dual enrollment ribbon option, which is where students can be dually enrolled at the community college, seeking the nursing degree at the community college while taking 1 class at A&T online per semester until they earn their ADN. And then they can go directly into the RN to BSN option that we just previously discussed. But let's talk a little bit more about the requirements for the traditional option and what that looks like for you as a pre-nursing student. Next slide. So the traditional entry option, again, is the 4-year baccalaureate program. And you start with pre-nursing. It's kind of broken down into 2 sections. So your first 2 years, that's the pre-nursing section where you take all your general education and your prerequisites to be ready to apply for what we call upper division. And upper division is your last 2 years of the nursing program where you will that's when you will begin to take all your nursing courses. Many students ask about internships and things of that nature for nursing, but you really don't necessarily need that because you get that experience in your last 2 years of the program because you will be working with clinicals and things of that nature to get that hands-on experience. Now, what do you need to do in order to get into upper division? The requirements are that you have at least a 2.8 GPA, but keep in mind, we like for you to keep in mind that the average GPA of students moving into upper division is a 3.5. We also ask that you have at least a C or better, C or higher, in all nursing prerequisites. So while you're in pre-nursing, you just want to make sure that you're staying on top of all of your courses to ensure C or higher on the first attempt. And that first attempt is really important. You also have to be a licensed CNA. I know many of you have probably already taken your CNA course in high school, and we just ask that you continue that and make sure that it's up to date so you'll be still licensed when it's time to apply for upper division. If you have not received your CNA, that is something that you can obtain. And we typically recommend that you take the course after your freshman year. So the summer after your freshman year, you're at home and you can sign up for a CNA course over the summer and obtain that requirement. And then there's the test of essential academic skills. We call it the TEAS test. And the TEAS test is similar to, it's a standardized test. It's similar to an SAT or ACT, and it does have a science component. And also one of the things that I want to note is that because, and I'm sure you've heard this from admissions, but because next year is a test optional year, the requirements to come into pre-nursing have increased slightly. So the GPA has increased to a 3.3 requirement, and there is no test requirement. So if you do take the SAT, ACT, that's great to have that coming in. If you're not able to have that coming in, that's fine, but please note that you will need it prior to applying for upper division, because that is considered when students are moving into upper division. So just please keep in mind that although it's not required to enter the university, it will be required for upper division. And please, if anyone has any questions, just put them in a chat and I will address them at the end of the session. Thank you.
So now we're going to move on to the next slide. And we're going to talk about sociology and social work. They're housed in one department, but they are two separate degrees. So first I want to talk to you about sociology, because a lot of times people don't know exactly what that is. And so sociologists, they seek to investigate and report on ways in which the social forces we are embedded in, whether that be public policy, inequality and inequities, or cultural norms, how those things impact our lives. And so people who major in sociology, there are several options for them. Some go into law, some go into politics. And if you don't want to major in sociology, that is also offered as a minor. So now we're going to talk a little bit about social work. And so for most of you, no explanation necessary, but it is committed to the pursuit of social justice and human rights. And so as a whole, what social workers do is they strive to improve the quality of life and the development of the potential of people, groups, organizations, the community, society as a whole. And so as I explained before, there is a joint relationship between A&T and UNCG. So if you wanted to continue at A&T to pursue your master's and your PhD in social work, that opportunity is available to you. Psychology. So the goals of the faculty in the Department of Psychology are to introduce students to the ideas and concepts relevant to the discipline of psychology. They encourage interdisciplinary learning. They prepare students for graduate school and entry-level jobs requiring the knowledge of psychology. Most students will go on to graduate school because in order to function as a professional psychologist, it is necessary for you to complete graduate training. And so many of our graduates go on to pursue degrees in psychology. So we're going to move on to kinesiology. So kinesiology prepares students for a variety of careers in sports, physical therapy, fitness and recreation environments. And while students are at A&T, they have the opportunity to participate in research, and internships are actually required. So students have to have about 270 hours of internship hours during their senior year. And so it really gives students the opportunity to get into the field and to work with professionals in the field. If you choose this option, you can choose exercise science, or you can choose recreation and sports management, depending on what your focus is. And a lot of students, particularly exercise science students, they go on to PT school to become physical therapists. But with this degree, you have the option with your bachelor's to become a physical therapy assistant. But if you wanted to go on to become a professional physical therapist, you would have to go to graduate school. And our next major, speech studies and speech pathology. You can choose either route. So the speech communications degree prepares students for a wide range of communication positions. So whether it be marketing, advertising, law, journalism, and education, it's kind of broad, just like sociology. So if you are interested in any of those fields, that would be a good path to take. The speech pathology and audiology program, it prepares students to go to graduate school to become clinicians in the practice of speech language and speech pathology. And so developing speech, language, and hearing, it affects people, whether it's their academic performance, career opportunities, socialization. So we really need professionals in this field to work with them, whether it's in a school system or in a hospital, to help people who struggle with those issues. And then we're going to move on now to our next, and I believe final department, and this is our newest one. We just started this fall with our Health Services Management degree. As you may or may not know, this is a growing field. And so we're very excited to have this degree here in the college. And so the focus is on health system, healthcare leadership and management, health economics, healthcare technology, data systems, and health services research. And so as indicated here, the projected growth rate for medical and health services managers in North Carolina is growing faster than average for all occupations. And so the degree will help you to be able to serve as a health services manager, patient services manager, health operation managers, medical coders, or other entry-level management positions across the board in the health field. So whether it's a private practice or a hospital or a school system or the government, it's a burgeoning field, and we're really excited about it. We only have 10 students right now, but we know that this is going to grow exponentially. And so those are the degree programs that we have, and we want to answer any and all of your questions. I'm going to put in the chat all of the contact information for each department, so you can just go to the one that you're interested in and get that information. And if you want to reach out to those departments, you certainly can do that. I'm going to put my information there as well, so that you can reach out to me with any questions that you may have.
All right, and we'll start answering your questions. Again, put those questions in the Q&A. Can you minor in psychology and still have the requirements to go to med school?
Dr. Keys, can you answer that?
Sure. Yes. Now, to minor in psychology and have the requirements, yes, absolutely, you can. One thing about medical school, however, is that there are, I believe, 10, maybe 12 courses that you must take in order to prepare you for the MCATs. And so whatever major you choose, you must take those 12 courses, and they pretty much occur through the biology department. And once you have those 12 courses, then you'll be prepared to take the entrance exam for medical school. So in essence, you can major in any area on campus. Hopefully you'll be in health sciences, and at the same time be prepared for med school.
Thank you, Dr. Keys. Is there an athletic training major?
Well, students who are interested in athletic training will typically follow the exercise science route. And so the degree doesn't specifically say that, but that's the route that students usually take for that major.
And may I
Is
add to that? I'm sorry. May I add to that, Dr. Fernandez?
Absolutely.
There's also an experience that students can get at a community college, which is it's a fitness management certification. And so several students in kinesiology have taken advantage of that in the past 2 years, and they've been satisfied with the results. So it's not another degree, but it helps you to get closer to carrying out those types of services that you might want to do with the sports science fitness management major or degree.
Thank you. There are several questions about double majoring. Is double majoring available? Can we double major with a different department?
Absolutely. You can, as long as you meet the requirements to get into that major, you can double major. You wouldn't start off as a double major. You would start off, and Ms. Quick can correct me if I'm wrong, if she knows, but usually you come in with one, and after you've had a certain amount of credits, then you can declare another major. Obviously, like I said, if that major requires, for instance, you have a cumulative GPA of a 3.0, you have to meet that requirement before you can double major. You could also have a minor and you follow the same process. It is important to note that not all departments offer a minor.
Thank you. What are some examples of entry-level jobs for undergraduate students? What opportunities will I have as an undergrad psychology major?
Okay, I'll answer that one. Wherever there are people, there is a need for a psychology major. That's what we like to tell our majors, and so that's pretty much the case. So believe it or not, a lot of entry-level jobs exist in the corporate world for psychology majors, people who might work with business marketers and so forth. However, in the field of psychology itself, there are some opportunities for where there are programs helping children or programs helping special needs adults, serving as counselor assistants and so forth. So those are some of the types of work that you can get with an undergraduate degree in psychology.
Okay, there are several questions about requirements. Ms. Evans, did you want to take those questions? So one in particular is about the upper division nursing. So I have to obtain a 3.3 GPA while in college to sign up for the nursing program.
So I'll provide some clarity there. The 3.3 is to enter the university. So that would be your high school GPA. And so you would enter the university as a pre-nursing student as long as you have a 3.3. And so moving into upper division, you'll have to maintain, the requirement is at least a 2.8 GPA. But just being honest, that's not where you want to be in college. The average GPA of the students for the past few years has been at least a 3.5. And you should have that if you are making at least a C or better in your classes on the first attempt. So don't, think that that's that hard to do. As long as you come in and you're grinding, and you won't have a problem at all meeting the GPA requirement to apply for upper division.
What is the SAT or ACT test score range for entry into the nursing program?
So because this year is test optional, we're not requiring that, but typically the SAT requirement is a 10-10 and the ACT requirement is a 20. And so again, you don't have to have either one of those to enter the university, but in order to be reviewed and admitted into upper division, the test score is a requirement. So it is something that you can go back and take once you're actually in pre-nursing, if you don't already have it.
What if you don't meet the requirements for pre-nursing?
So if you don't meet the requirements for pre-nursing, and Ms. Quick, you can back me up on this, I believe you're admitted into your second choice major.
Yes, that is correct. What's a good major for someone who wants to be a pediatrician?
I think that maybe biology, which is in a different college, the College of Science and Technology would be a good one. But I don't know if Dr. Keys or Ms. Evans wants to add something that we offer. Of course, if you have a nursing degree, I think that would be helpful.
I usually tell my students, you can go to medical school with any degree. It's a good idea to have a degree that has a science background, because you're going to be taking those prerequisites that are required for you to enter medical school if you have a major that requires those sciences. But those are the requirements, the prerequisites that Dr. Keys was initially speaking of. As long as you have those, you can really have any degree. I had a student who had an engineering degree, decided to go to medical school. So you can do anything as long as you put your mind to it.
And if you look at, the medical schools you're interested in, to look at their admissions requirements, then you can see what classes they're looking for. Of course, they're going to be heavily based in like biology, chemistry, and things like that. So that might help you steer you to a particular undergraduate major. But like Ms. Evans said, if you chose something else, you would just have to take those classes that they require at some point. Whether you take it in addition to the classes you need here, you take some science classes you need, or after you graduate, you go on and just take some classes before you actually go to medical school.
Thank you. What are some internships or opportunities nursing students participate in? Can they intern at local hospitals, at the school, or at UNCG?
So we don't have necessarily internships. Once you enter the junior year, which is when you will enter and be accepted into upper division, you start what's called clinicals. And I guess you can consider those internships, because it will be at local hospitals. And so we have partnerships with Moses Cone, as well as Wake Health. Sometimes students go to Alamance, and if you're unfamiliar with the area, those are just kind of surrounding hospitals that we have in the area. And each semester, you'll have a different assignment. And on those days, you'll go to your clinicals and you'll work as a nurse. You have what's called a preceptor. And that is a nurse who's going to work with you during the time that you're at the hospital, but you're learning how to be a nurse during that time. And you have your own patients. You have your own assignments during the time that you're there. If your preceptor has to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, that's what time you have to be there. And so, it could be a 12-hour shift. And so that's what you're going to be doing. That's going to be your internship, and that's going to be your nursing experience. So you'll get that from your classes that you take, and you don't necessarily have to do anything additional in order to get that experience.
Will there be interviews this year for the ABSN program?
Yes, interviews are actually coming up for the ABSN entry option. If you've turned in an application, deadline was October 1st. So your packet is currently with the admission committee in the School of Nursing being reviewed, and interviews should be coming up this week, if not next week. And so be on the lookout for that, because decisions will be made prior to November 1st. So interviews will be coming soon.
Can I have one major in kinesiology and 2 minors?
Well, you can have a major in kinesiology and have another minor. Now, Ms. Quick, I have not had a student to have two minors. Is that a common thing?
It is not. No, they normally don't. They have one major and possibly one minor.
Yeah, and it would really be a lot, I think, to try to have two minors because of the amount of hours that you're going to need for each minor plus your primary degree. But yes, whatever major you choose, you can minor in whatever we have available as a minor, as long as you qualify.
Can nursing students take courses at UNCG?
Nursing courses, if the answer is nursing courses, then the answer is no. If you're referring to general education, then yes, the university has a consortium program where you can take courses at any school in the UNC system through our registrar's office. So I hope that answers your question. We don't accept nursing courses from any other institution.
Can you work on internship hours all 4 years, and will they count when you have to have 270 hours during your senior year for kinesiology?
No, you have to, during that last semester, the way the curriculum guide is, you will be enrolled in an internship class. And so the way it's set up, you don't have a lot of classes that semester, maybe the internship class, which is considered 6 hours, and then another class or 2. So by that time, most students are through their more difficult classes. So that last semester will give you time to be able to participate in your internship, and the class is set up to help you with that, to help you find your internship and get through it.
Can you explain more about the dual enrollment program for nursing?
Yes, the dual enrollment option is called RIBBN. That stands for Regionally Increasing Baccalaureate Nurses. And so technically what it is, the students are enrolled full-time as an associate degree seeking nurse at the community college. We currently have a partnership with Vance Granville Community College, Davidson County Community College, and Guilford Technical Community College. And so anyone who is enrolled in RIBBN at any of those community colleges also are enrolled in A&T for one course online as a distance learning student each semester. So RIBBN students actually never have to step on A&T's campus unless they want to. We typically have a program for them because we want them to feel a part of the campus, but they do not have to come to A&T for any reason. And so the courses that they're taking at A&T are general education courses. And it's stuff that will be applied to the RN to BSN entry option requirements. Once a student graduates from the ADN program at the community college and is licensed, many people don't really understand that an associate degree nurse and a bachelor degree nurse can have the same job. So once you have your degree as an associate degree nurse, you can work as a nurse, but enter our RN to BSN entry option as a full-time online, again, distance learning student, because that program is distance learning as well. And so that gives the student an opportunity to work full-time as a nurse while earning the BSN, because the BSN, will allow for leadership positions on the job. So it is something that students want to have, and a lot of, places want the nurses to have them, but you can earn that while working full-time as a nurse.
Thank you. Are there research opportunities or teacher assistant opportunities as an undergraduate sociology or psychology student?
Currently, there are no such research opportunities for, and I hope I'm answering your question, for undergraduate students in psychology. However, we have research independent studies. And so I don't know if I made that clear in my introduction. And so those students will work one-on-one with faculty members on their particular research. There are opportunities, however, outside of the university where students can work with professionals in other areas, whether it be business or in a psychology discipline, so forth, where they can do research with them. So I know in both, definitely in psychology, there are ample research opportunities. There are also those types of opportunities in sociology. Social work, you have their own internships, which are linked to the social work degree.
Can you tell me more about the programs for students that will be entering into the healthcare management field?
I'm guessing you're speaking about health services management. And so, confession here, it's a brand new degree, and currently we don't have a director of that program yet. It's coming. So I have a limited knowledge of that, but what I do know is that that program prepares people to work in the health field on the business side. So whether that is data management systems or economics in regards to healthcare, health analysis, healthcare leadership, or patient services managers, health operations managers, or just maybe running a private practice, medical coders. I don't know if I said that already. That's the focus of the program. If you would like to see the curriculum guide, I'll be happy to send it to you so that you can look at it. Most of the classes are health services management classes. Of course, you also have to take, everyone has to take general education classes. There are business courses there as well. I believe economics is a class you have to take. And then there are classes, business classes that are specifically focused on health. So, you know, whether it's managing a budget at a hospital or things like that. I don't know if that was a good answer, but I actually have a brochure that was recently produced. So please, my email information is in the chat. So if you email me and you let me know you like the curriculum guide and the brochure, I'll be happy to send them to you. And we can stay in communication when the new director comes on, and I can share that information with you as well.
Can you give an overview of the speech language pathology communication disorders major?
Dr. Keys, do you have information about that one? And I will say this, it's brand, we just acquired those majors in our college. They were in education before, so they just came to the College of Health and Human Sciences.
Yes, right. That's correct, Dr. Fernandez. And, but could you repeat that question? Because I was looking at something with health services management when you asked it, Ms. Quick.
Yes, they were asking about the speech pathology communication disorders major.
Okay. And what it's, I think Dr. Fernandez answered that, right? Yeah, so, okay. I'm sorry.
When will applications open for?
Well, I'm sorry, can I just, I'm not sure if that was a thorough, I answered it thoroughly enough. So I just want to say that what I do know is that you have to maintain a 3.0 overall to remain in the program. You're required to have a C or better in all of your major courses. You have to repeat any of your core courses or your clinical practicum courses if you get a grade of D or lower. And there is a clinical phase that you have to be admitted to. So and that's prior to the junior year. So you have to have a 3.0 to be able to do that. And again, you know, I can send information about the curriculum guide, and please forgive me that I don't know much more about it. And finally, you have to go to graduate school after you have that degree. It prepares you for graduate school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When will applications open for upper division nursing?
So again, upper division is when you're trying to enter the third year, you're actually junior year of the nursing entry option. So any sophomore who has completed the first 2 years on the curriculum guide for nursing will be able to apply for upper division January 1st. We make the application available January 1st of each year. And they are due by February 15th of each year. And if students are admitted into upper division, if you look at the curriculum guide, you'll notice that summer school is required. So you will have an opportunity to prepare for summer school. We want you to keep that in mind, that it is a requirement if you are admitted into upper division after your sophomore year.
Thank you. When studying psychology, are the various branches of psychology a part of it, or do I have to decide on clinical psychology or child psychology?
Actually, as an undergraduate in psychology, it will be more of an eclectic program. So you'll receive instruction in social psychology, clinical psychology, developmental, in the neurosciences and so forth. So you'll have a well-rounded experience once you graduate. It is in graduate school that you decide which discipline that you want to actually pursue. Now, as I was saying earlier with the internships, not internships, but with the independent studies. So, and this is with internships as well. So with independent studies, you will actually conduct studies specific for that particular psychology professor. So if that psychology professor conducts research in health psychology, that might mean that your interest or your focus once you get into graduate school or as you apply for graduate school is health psychology. But again, your bachelor's degree is a generic degree and you specialize once you go to graduate school.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for joining us today for the College of Health and Human Sciences session. We'd like for you to use the virtual open house guide on the Guidebook app to create your customized schedule. We weren't able to answer all of your questions today, but Dr. Fernandez did put contact information in the chat box so you can reach out to them. We also hope that you will join our admissions and financial aid counselors. They are available in the virtual lobby to answer your questions as well. There were a lot of requirement questions. If you'd like a virtual tour, please visit the virtual tour session to receive a tour by our Aggie ambassadors. And please complete the virtual open house survey. Thank you so much again for attending the College of Health and Human Sciences session.
Take care.
Thank you.